Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So glad you could join me. If you're new here, my name's Vicki-Lynne and I follow a plant-based diet, always vegan, mostly plant-based. I do try a few vegan treats here and there just for you guys and just to see what's happening in the vegan world. But I do like to follow a plant-based diet and I do like to follow the Starch Solution. So if that interests you, stick with me. We're going to do another meal prep today here in my kitchen, and I have some great new recipes for you again today. Going to keep everything oil-free and gluten-free this time. I'm trying to stay on the gluten-free bandwagon. It does make my tummy feel so much better. So let's get into the kitchen, guys. I've got some great new recipes for you and I hope you're going to enjoy them. And we're going to pull from the pantry this time and just use what's already in my kitchen. And as the week goes by, I'll show you what I'm making from what we prepped. So thank you for joining me back in my kitchen again. I always love showing you guys great new recipes. I get so excited every week. Every week I just can't even sleep because I get excited about all the new recipes that I think of. There's so many things going on in my head. Anyway, so again, why do we meal prep? It's so we have stuff in the fridge, so we're prepared, we have food to eat. Again, I'm going to be doing my 50-50 plates. We're going to be trying to stick with having half of it with the non-starchy, half with the starchy. I'm really trying to get back on that bandwagon. Mother's Day's over. I did have a few little treats for the Mother's Day weekend. Nothing crazy, all vegan, of course, but, a little bit of oil here and there. A little deep frying. Not in my air fryer, but anyway, and we're allowed to do that here and there. But I do want to get back on that bandwagon, so we're going to start. First thing I'm going to do is I have some russet potatoes. I'm going to put them in in my Instant Pot. My Instant Pot and my air fryer are probably the two tools that I use the most. And now with summer coming, again, those will be the two that I use all the time. And if you didn't see, I uploaded my onion rings in the air fryer, which are delicious. So we're going to get the potatoes going. I always like having potatoes pre-done so that you can make them into hash browns, you can make them into fries. I'm going to show you a great new recipe. We're going to make gnocchi with our potatoes. And that recipe comes together. They're gluten-free. We're going to add just a simple jar sauce. I have some fabulous basil growing on my windowsill. I just looked around and went, that is a great recipe. It comes together really quickly, and it's going to be gluten-free. So that one we're going to put together once our potatoes are all cooked. You're going to love that. And I just kind of went through my fridge and I was like, wow, I still have a lot to use. I have some mixed greens. And I was thinking, how come we're always doing grain bowls? Why not potato bowls? Why do grains get all the credit here? Why can't we sub out the grains for potatoes and make potato bowls? So this week we're making potato bowls, guys. Yes, I'm going to say I invented them. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I've invented potato bowls. No, I haven't, but let's just say so. Potato bowls. We're going to come up with some new concoctions on potato bowls this week because they're a perfect way of being a 50-50 plate. Put some greens below, put your potatoes on there, and any little bit in between. I had some black beans that are in my freezer that I had cooked on a previous video, so I'm pulling those out to add into my 50-50 on that. And I happen to have cucumber, celery, carrots. I'm probably going to go to the store to pick up a couple of things like radishes or whatever, just a few little bips and bobs there. But I really have a lot already. Now, the other thing I was going to put in the oven are a couple of sweet potatoes because I was thinking sweet potatoes for breakfast would be a great start. So I'm going to do my sweet potatoes. And I already have my oven preheating at 400. I'm going to throw those in. But I also had asparagus, and so I'm going to actually throw a little bit of asparagus into the oven. I'm not going to do it all because actually the weather is going to be fabulous this week, and I predict we're probably going to barbecue. And I do actually have some of my homemade hamburger patties, the vegan ones that I made with the TVP. And so those are in the freezer. I'm just going to pop those out, but I'll probably do them without a bun and do them on a bed of greens and put them in a bowl or something. So I'm just going to actually just cut off the hard part of the asparagus. And I had a lot of cauliflower already on the weekend. I do have a head of cauliflower already in my fridge, but it's still really good. So I'm just going to leave it. I would normally roast that also, but I'm just going to do a little bit of the asparagus for tonight. And I have some garlic and herb seasoning. I'm just going to keep this really simple. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to put them all in the same thing. And then the asparagus is nice and thin. It's literally going to take like 10 minutes in the oven. And then I'll just let the potatoes continue to roast. You could also make your gnocchi out of the sweet potatoes. So I'll do probably half a recipe out of the sweet potato and half a recipe out of the white potatoes. And we'll show you how great they turn out. Okay, into the oven we go. Now I'm going to show you how to make gnocchi quick and easy and gluten-free. So our potatoes have cooked in our Instant Pot. I've let them kind of cool down, but they're still a little bit warm. To just make them a little bit more pliable. Get my knife. You're just going to want to split them open. And we're just going to take out, obviously, the potato. You don't want the skin. And you can do this right on your counter if you want. Now, I'm going to put those in my air fryer later. Crisp those up. They're going to be delicious. They'll be a great little snack. I try not to waste anything. That's what I like about the russet potatoes. All right. So we're just going to... Okay. Then what you're going to want to do, I'm going to use oat flour. I don't have oat flour. I make my own. Oat flour can be really expensive. I just take my blender or a smaller blender, put some oats in it. Put a recipe down below. It's usually about the same amount. And we're just going to blend this until we get an oat flour. And you don't need a high-speed blender to make oat flour. There you go. 15 seconds. You have your own oat flour. I actually use these were the quick oats this time. So all you're going to do is you're going to take your potatoes. You're going to mash them. Make sure you take the skin out. Mash them on your board. And this is when you can add a little bit of flavoring to it if you'd like. You can add a little bit of garlic. This is just a super simple recipe, and this is the same recipe as if you were going to do with the sweet potatoes. Mash it up. And then you're just going to add in your oat flour on top. I am going to add just a little bit of garlic. Okay. Just going to start adding some of our oat flour, and we're going to turn this into a dough, basically. Super simple. This is why you don't want your potatoes to be too hot, because you don't want to be burning your fingers. But you want to be able to work in your oat flour. Just so it's not sticky anymore. You want to be able to keep your potatoes dough together. Okay. There we go. Super simple. That's it, guys. How easy is that? Now what we're going to do is we'll divide it. You can divide it in 2, 4, however. Depends on how much potato you're working with. I like to try to keep it simple. And then you're just going to roll it out. I'm just going to change the camera angle so you can see it a little bit up close. All right, so we're just going to roll this out into a cylinder. Obviously, the better you mash your potatoes, the smoother your pasta will be. And then all you have to do is just cut your pasta. I'm just going to take a plate, and then you can just take your fork and just fork them just so they have a little texture. And while you're doing this, get a pot of boiling water, nicely salt it. And again, this is super rustic, but it's gluten-free, it's Starch Solution friendly, it's oil-free, and we're going to have little pillows of delightfulness. So in our frying pan here in the back, I'm just going to keep it super simple, guys. Just going to use a little bit of this organic sauce. Just going to warm that up. And now we have our boiling water. It's lightly salted. We're just going to take our gnocchi. We're going to toss it into our boiling water, like so. And then we're going to wait for it to come up. Once it comes up to a boil, it only takes a couple of minutes. That's when you know it's ready. And we're just going to throw it into our sauce. Toss it with a little bit of our fresh basil. And lunch is served. There we go. See how it's coming up? Our little pillows of goodness. Now you could fry up some onions, put some extra garlic in. I'm just showing you a really quick evening meal. When you already have your potatoes cooked, it took what? Nothing to make a little oat flour and make your pasta. take them out, strain them, put them in your sauce. Give that a quick mix. Tear in some fresh basil. And there you go, guys. Supper is ready. Super simple. Took us what? 5 minutes, 10 minutes to put together? So just going to put the salad together. Some cucumber. Really easy. Again, when you have everything ready. Some tomato. My pickled onions. I'm going to do some pickled beets. I have the potatoes in the air fryer already going. Put those on top when they're ready. I'm going to throw on some pumpkin seeds for some crunch. There we go.